The anime begins with a narration telling us about how the population of humans has been increasing rapidly in these recent years. The tales of monsters and demons were all seen as fairy tales as the world was developing. But unknowingly, the humans never knew that all the monsters live with them in disguise. Suddenly, we see a boy who is being chased and is killed by a mysterious creature. Few moments later, the scene takes us to a police station where we see two detectives interrogating a boy who is being arrested for trespassing into a villa. We find out that this boy's name is called Zhang Yao, a 23-year-old boy who graduated from the most famous university in the city, called the Huaqing University, but he still has no job. Zhang Yao explains to the detectives that he didn't enter the villa to steal anything, but to search for his roommate Xiao Yuan, who went to that villa since a month ago and never came back. The detectives didn't only take the matter on seriously, but also scolded him for entering someone else's private land without permission. And since he is looking for a missing person, he should have reported the case to the cops instead of handling the matter himself. Because this is the first time Zhang Yao ever committed a crime, the cops decided not to punish him but seriously warned him never to enter someone's land without permission again. The moment he left, the police officers started to discuss about a mobile game called the Shadow Game, which has circulated on the internet, and the users play it by receiving a message on their phone from an unknown person. The officers are worried because 9 people have mysteriously died after playing the game. Meanwhile, we see Zhang Yao once again, who couldn't just sit and wait because he sent so many voice notes and messages, but still haven't gotten a word from his roommate. Zhang suddenly decided to sneak inside the villa again, despite the cops' warnings, dodging some security guards to see what he can find concerning his missing roommate. He goes to the spot where Yuan's phone signal was last seen and saw his necklace on the floor in front of a strange clock. Zhang quickly hid immediately after a security guard walks in to check the house. The guard receives a message on his phone and starts acting like he's being controlled after reading the message. He stands in front of the strange clock and disappears. Quickly follows him and saw that the clock had changed to a secret door. He uses his necklace to locate where the guard was and sees the guard trying to stop his hand from killing himself. Zhang rush in and save the guard before knocking him out so he can't try to kill himself anymore. A mysterious shadow creature suddenly grabs Zhang's neck trying to kill him, but he was able to break free by using his protection necklace, but sees himself surrounded by dead bodies. A strange guy eventually walks inside the area and informs Zhang that those dead bodies are zombies. Before Zhang could realize it, all the dead bodies already woke up and started to attack him, and with the help of his necklace, he finds out that those zombies were being controlled by a mysterious creature in the shadows. The creature attacks Zhang and almost killed him, but the strange guy was able to save him in time. The guy gives Zhang some of his powers that enabled him to see the mysterious creature in the shadows, which turns out to be a gigantic bird that continues to attack Zhang. The creature almost killed him this time around, but he unconsciously activated his inner powers, making him to defeat the terrifying monster in one blow. Still under the influence of his inner power, he attacks the strange guy, but he was knocked back to his senses. After the fight, Zhang sees his roommate's phone beside one of the dead bodies. The bird wakes up again and wanted to attack the strange guy, but another unknown figure kills it from afar. Back at home, Zhang dreams about his roommate Yuan, who tells him about the necklace he got from his benefactor. He wakes up in his apartment and noticed a tattoo on his neck. While thinking of what to do, his friend called Wen Tao calls him on the phone to know how he is doing. He tells Wen Tao that his roommate Yuan has been missing for months and he is looking for him. Wen Tao informs him that he doesn't know who Yuan is, and that he doesn't even have a roommate. Zhang tries to make him remember Yuan, but he still insisted that Zhang does not have a roommate. Zhang opens Yuan's room and saw it empty. He runs down to the receptionist and asked him if he remembered his roommate. The receptionist replied and tells him that he lived alone. He realizes that everyone except him had forgotten about the existence of Yuan. He connects the memory problem with a viral game of shadows and the bird he fought last night. Later at night, Zhang sneaks inside a store and used their computer to check the cameras so he can know the true cause of the death of a rich businessman who committed suicide according to the press. He thinks the man's death was also connected to the game of shadows. While watching the video, he noticed the businessman begging something in the shadows, just like the security guard last night. Just then, a really scary girl comes out of the shadow and uses her power to push the rich man from the roof. The girl suddenly turns and looks at the cameras, which mysteriously switches off all the lights in the store, hurries to leave the building before his time was up, but unfortunately, the security alarm was turned on as they know someone has infiltrated the building. Zhang sees someone approaching his direction and hurries to hide himself, only to be attacked by the mysterious girl who has superpowers. Zhang was able to cause a confusion as he throws a couple of computers on the girl, allowing him to make his escape. While running, the tattoo on his neck weakens him, but still tries to get out of the building through a tiny window. But the girl appears again and attacks him with her powers. But when she saw the tattoo on his neck, its powers alone intimidated her as she retreated from hunting him down. Suddenly, two unknown men comes out of a portal after the guards left and started to discuss about capturing Zhang and the little girl. The scene takes us to an office where we see the strange guy who helped Zhang the other night having a conversation with two of his members in an unknown group. They knew that Zhang was going to be kidnapped by those two unknown men from the portal, so they decided to go help him out. Zhang returns back to his house only to be attacked by the two unknown men from the portal. The mark on his neck transforms into a chain and is held by one of the men. They introduce themselves as messengers of the underworld and say that Mr. Yanmo, keeper of the underworld, told them to capture and bring him back to the underworld. They let him know that he died 10 years ago, but he tampered with Mr. Yanmo's records and used a magic technique to come back to life. Zhang doesn't understand what they're saying. He tries to escape, but they immediately separate his spirit from the body. As they were about to leave with Zhang's captured spirit, the strange guy walks in and stops them. He tells them that it's against their rules to take a living person back to the underworld. They threaten to kill him if he tries to stop them. Then he shifts and Zhang's body wakes up. The power that possessed him when he faced the bird returned. The two messengers noticed this and quickly returned Zhang's spirit to his body to merge with the power. They tell Zhang that they'll be back for him, then left. After they left, Zhang asks the strange guy about his roommate. He mentions to the man that everyone except him has forgotten about Yuan. He also asked him about the little girl in the mobile game of Shadows. The strange guy tells him to come with him so they can meet with someone who can help him answer his questions. They finally got to the Ling Yu Association and is welcomed by a lady. The lady, whose name Whis revealed to Yunlan, welcomed them and tells the strange guy to leave. Before leaving, he tells Zhang he was now under the care of the lady and the other guy, Juhua. Juhua heals Zhang's injuries and the girl takes them inside the Ling Yu Association to meet with their president. She keeps them in an office and tells them the president is in a meeting, so they should sit and wait for him. Juhua gives him tea and he falls asleep after drinking the tea. He wakes up at night and as he goes outside, he wonders why the whole place is so empty. Suddenly, mysterious figure started attacking him from the sky. He runs into a cave of man-eating plants who tried to eat him. The mysterious figure in the shadows blows him away from the cave. He falls into another location and sees Yunlan unconscious, along with other envoys of the Ling Yu Association. The mysterious figure continues to attack him, and he noticed the figure was the little girl he fought at the store. His inner power takes control over him and tries to kill the girl, but he stops himself in time. The girl transforms into one of the envoys, and another envoy jumps down to stop Zhang. Zhang collapses, but was caught immediately by the male envoy. He gives Zhang a bit of his power to help him survive before he slipped off. Zhang dreams and remembers when his teacher picked him up from the streets and took him to her home. He wakes up the next morning and sees a young lady taking care of him. Jiwoo and Yunlan walk in and explain to him that what he saw last night was an illusion. They say he was being tested and must learn how to control his power. While walking down the hall, he sees a painting of a war between humans and monsters. They explain to him that every envoy in the Ling Yu Association had a shikigami they used to fight. Juye tells him that they need him to collect the demonic power of the ancient beasts. He was the only one who had the colorless attribute and whose body can contain the power of the beasts. They finally met with the president of the Ling Yu Association, and he introduced himself as Lu Jingyi. The president explains the game of shadows to Zhang. He tells him that everyone who died because of the game was connected to the empty building Zhang sneaked into before. He informs him that only the security guard he saved that night and him are the two people who played the game and are still alive. Furthermore, he mentions that the empty building was once an orphanage home where the security guard worked at. The security guard was smoking one morning and mistakenly dropped the smoke on flammable materials in front of the building, which caused the building to catch fire. Were many casualties from the fire outbreak, and the building eventually got burned. The rich businessman purchased the building after it got burnt, and it was later discovered that the businessman and the security guard knew each other. He had employed the guard to burn down the building so he could buy it. The president tells Zhang that only one person survived the fire outbreak, and it was the little girl who he fought at the store. She was in a coma before she died 2 days later. When the doctor came to move her body, he couldn't find the body and the person who has been taking care of her in the coma before she died. This person was John's roommate. Yuan Zhang became shocked and asked if they suspected his roommate and the little girl to be the creators of the Game of Shadows so they can use it to get back at those involved in the fire outbreak at the orphanage home. They tell him yes, and although the little girl died, they believe his roommate is using a rare power to mutate and control her body like a puppet. They want Zhang to act as bait so they can capture his roommate and know the truth. The president tells him that he has the power of an ancient beast in him. Zhang became shocked and said he has never encountered any beast who gave him power. Immediately, he remembers when he met the strange guy at the beginning and the power he gave him. The strange guy appears at the meeting, and Zhang finds out that he's one of the ancient beasts, Tao Tai, the beast that the Lingyu Association tamed to work with them. They all plan to use the security guard who survived and catch the little girl so she can lead them to Yuan. At the hospital, Zhang transports the security guard to a different location. They hope for the little girl to follow them so they can catch her. On the way, he finds out that the security guard was fake, and it was Yunlin that disguised as him. He stops to get gas, and while waiting for Yunlin, someone attacks him from behind and knocks him out. He wakes up in a building and sees Yuan. He tries calling him, but Yuan doesn't respond. The little girl, whose name was Ali, runs through Zhang and hugs Yuan. Zhang finds out that no one can see him and watches as Yuan and Ali talk to each other. It was the orphanage home and Yuan came to visit Ali. Zhang finds out they're both siblings and sees when she gifts Yuan the necklace he was always wearing. Later, the day changes to night and the fire outbreak happens. Yuan comes in and starts looking for Ali. Zhang forgets that they're unable to see or hear him and tries to stop Yuan from entering the fire, but it doesn't work. As Yuan walked through the fire, Zhang sees some light shining on his skin. Yuan finally sees Ali under a piece of wood. He pushes the wood away and tries to save her with his power, but it doesn't work. A massive fire comes through the window and Yuan uses his wings to block himself and Ali from the fire. He then carries Ali and flies away to the hospital. At the hospital, Zhang watches as the doctors try to save Ali's life, but she eventually dies. A strange man appears in front of Yuan at midnight as he mourns his sister. He shows Yuan the Soul Stone and offers Yuan a deal to bring his sister back to life at a price. Yuan accepts the offer immediately, and the strange man binds Yuan and Ali's souls together and collects Yuan's power. Ali wakes up as a puppet, and Yuan turns into the shadow bird that fought Zhang at the beginning. Zhang watches everything in shock and immediately wakes up back to reality. He turns and sees Ali accusing him of killing Yuan. He gets sucked into a black portal and was falling from a high place before he used his hand as a claw to stop himself from falling, but Ali appears behind him and makes him fall again. Tao Tai comes almost immediately and catches him, then throws him up before falling himself. Zhang holds onto a rope and looks down as he screams Tao Tai's name. He climbs back up and continues fighting Ali. He talks about saving her because he knows Yuan never wanted her to be this way. He manages to subdue her and stops when he noticed a black aura coming out of her. Tao Tai immediately comes up and saves him. Then they work together to fight and help Ali. They finally get the soulbinder in her and crush it. This makes Ali regain herself and not be a puppet anymore. She finally became free and thanked them before walking away with her brother to rest in peace. Back at the Lingyu Association, the president tells Tao Tai that they need to bring Zhang here and under their control. Tao Tai informs him that Zhang is angry with them and doesn't want to return. As Tao Tai was leaving, the president suspects him of hiding something from him. Zhang sat down at the canteen, trying to figure out who the strange man that met Yuan in the hospital was. Yunlin walks in and tries to convince him to join them again so they can find out who the strange man was. In an office, an unknown man was on a phone call talking about how to capture Zhang. After the call, he remembers meeting the strange man and a girl and hopes never to meet them again, not knowing that the girl was standing behind him in his office. She kills him and goes out to find Zhang. A car broke down in the forest and a man with his bodyguard was looking for a network signal while waiting for the other bodyguard who went out to search for any nearby village. The bodyguard returned with an old man and tells them that he met the old man in the forest and he had agreed to help them. The old man tells them his village is around just outside the forest and they can spend the night in his house and continue their journey. The next day they follow him back to the village and meet other villagers there. The old man leads them into his house and says they can sleep there until the next day. He warns them not to come out or touch anything in the village. Moments later, the villagers started walking deep inside the village with a coffin. And the three men watched from the window. They decide to follow the villagers to know what they were up to. They watched from the bush as the old man jumped on the coffin and stabbed the top with a sword. Blood starts gushing out and the villagers starts drinking the blood. The bodyguard makes a noise and alerts them of their presence. They start pursuing all three of them, and both bodyguards sacrifice themselves to save their young master. The young master runs and stumbles upon a purple well. He becomes dizzy and couldn't move any longer. He turns back and sees a creature, then screams. Zhang is talking to his friend, Wen Tao, at the canteen when Wen Tao receives a call from his mother. Wen Tao is the twin brother of the young master that was lost in the forest. He hears about what happened to his brother and quickly rushed back home with Zhang. At his home, his mother tells him they found his body at the edge of a cliff, but they don't know the whereabouts of the bodyguards. She informs him that his brother is in critical condition and the doctors don't know what to do. Zhang notices a barrier around his body, and as he was about to touch it, he looks back and sees Tao Te and Juya at the door. They are the doctors of the young master. Juya tells his mother to allow him to test while they look for solutions. Outside the house, Zhang meets Juya and Tao Te and asks about the barrier they put around the young master's body. They warn him that if it's removed, his soul will be lost forever. While they were talking, they noticed a girl hiding behind a tree. Zhang recognizes her from the canteen, and Juhua asks her if she's in love with Zhang. She immediately says no and introduces herself as Beiji. She tells them she knows Yuan and only followed Zhang because of Yuan's necklace. After explaining herself to them, she says she'd love to join them on their mission, and Juhua agrees. She rushes home happily to go prepare. Tao Te sends Zhang to a special hotel to get something for him. He reaches there and was almost thrown out by security when a strange man comes to help him. The strange man takes him and Beiji down the elevator and leads him to the special hotel called the Pavilion. Beiji guides him inside and they meet with Hippo, a servant of the pavilion. He welcomes them into the pavilion and tells them the pavilion is a supermarket where human magicians and demons come to purchase temporary demon items and powers. He directs to take his bath and change his clothes first before he collects what he came for. Moments after Zhang had freshened up and was speaking with Beiji, Hippo comes in and apologizes for wasting their time. He gives Zhang his catalog and asks him to pick what he's looking for. Zhang checks the catalog and didn't see what he wanted. He tells Hippo that he's looking for the power of a god and they needed it to save a friend. Hippo replies that the gods can't give their powers to humans. While they were on their way out, Zhang asks Hippo about the soul stone. He immediately changes his expression and warns Zhang never to speak the words again. He gives Zhang his clothes and tells him to go back home. On his way out, Zhang looks at a statue whose eyes glow and makes him start feeling dizzy and hot. Beiji tries to get him out, but his beast power kept rising and became unstable for him to control. He hits her and loses control of his power, destroying everywhere. When the power calmed down, the guards of the pavilion appear and surround him. Hippo orders them to arrest him, and they take him to meet the master. Inside, the master's palace takes full responsibility for everything that happened and tells the master Beiji didn't commit any offense. The master applauds his act of taking responsibility, but tells him that she can't let him or Beiji leave. She sees the necklace on Zhang's neck and decides to make a bet with him. She informs him that he should play a game with Hippo. If he wins, she'll set him and Beiji free and he won't pay for the damages. But if he loses, she'll take his necklace and Beiji and he'll pay for the damages he caused. Thank you for watching, guys. If you don't want to miss out in the next and final part of this show, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye.